Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another anime review. We are reviewing anime called Life with an ordinary guy who reincarnated into the a totally fantasy knockout. Now that's a mouthful, but hey, it's a long ass title, so I'll tell you that much. Now this anime might get a second season to be if it gets popular enough. So our main protagonist has wears a business suit in the fucking fantasy world. He can also summon the door a door like when you open up a door, not a fancy door, like in medieval times. It's like a normal sized door in modern day, uh, which is kind of interesting because when he opens up the door, it's to his friend's apartment because that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to make sure to bring him home because before they get summoned into that world, into this new fantasy world, they say a bunch of stuff on what they want to do before they get summoned there because the goddess of love decides to grant them all their wishes, even though one character, his best friend, was pretty much fucking drunk, which I think is fucking funny. Now we'll get to him later, but everything that he said, he gets all the wishes and stuff like that. As for his best friend, the best friend was drunk and he said he wanted to be a blonde haired girl. And guess what the goddess of love does? He makes him into a girl, which I think is very funny. And then there goes the main plot of the anime. Pretty much, it's them trying not to fall in love with each other, even though they don't want to fall in love with each other because they're both fucking guys. Even though one guy's turned into a girl, which I thought was fucking funny, and he also has skills like in a fucking RPG video game where he can make any guy fall in love with her, even though he's a chick, which I think is very fucking funny. Now, I'm gonna be referencing an anime called Using Healing Magic the Wrong Way, I think it's called, or something like that. I reviewed it a little bit earlier, but that anime has three heroes. This anime also has three heroes in the first season. However, they do a little bit differently than that anime. That the Using Healing Magic the Wrong Way, the main character was not supposed to be summoned, and he gets summoned by the other two characters. However, the third hero in this anime is 17, unlike our two main characters who are technically like 32, I believe, and they both work at business offices. The third hero is 17 years old, and he is more of a joke character, so to speak. However, he is very powerful with a giant fucking sword, which I think is pretty fucking interesting. But he makes more of a comedy relief. He's also a hero, but he gets summoned different by a different goddess, which only gets brought up once, which I don't know why. Um, but that's the main gist of that category. So they fight. They also fight an elf lady because they decide to kill a bunny rabbit and sell her and eat the bunny rabbit's meat, which I think is pretty fucking interesting. They also fight two demon generals from the demon lord, which they're trying to kill the demon lord, and they also defeat a fucking giant squid, which I thought was fucking funny. Um, that's pretty much about the whole entire gist of the anime. Like it's all comedy, nothing else. Um, Now when it comes to the giant squid wants a beautiful young girl to sacrifice. So technically, this giant squid wants to eat the girl, which baffles the fuck out of me. I don't know why the fuck you want to do that. And it's just like, what the fuck? This anime has some really interesting comedy sketches and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, it's funny, but it gets too repetitive at times. Like I think that in the middle of the anime, this pacing goes a little bit slower, but I think it's because of the fact that it's trying to introduce new characters, and when the new characters get introduced, they are completely face off the face of the earth. For example, the elf girl, she gets introduced in the like I think the first or second episode because she wants to kill the two main characters because they killed their fucking garden deity bunny rabbit or whatever. But then she decides to help them out on midway through the season, and then once they kill the squid, she's pretty much non-existent for the second half of the anime. On top of that, the princess and her fucking rebellion place is only there for 4 episodes because she gets introduced on episode 8 or 9, and that's at the end of episode 8, and that's where I don't know why the fuck that happened because why are you introducing a character late if you know she's not going to be in the second season if you do make a second season because of reasons. On top of that, the princess decides to want just doesn't like her life, so she decides to try to jump off the fucking castle window, which baffles the fuck out of me. But the heroes decide to help her out and blah this, blah that, whatever. So the main plot of the anime is that the two guys are trying not to fall in love with each other, even though their skills are making them fall in love with each other. Because one guy's a girl now, and the other guy's still the same thing, which I think is pretty fucking funny. So that's the main gist of that. So one of my thoughts, the soundtrack's good. I think it was good for the setting and scenery. Animation, decent. I thought was really good and interesting. My main complaint though is how the pacing is fast, then slow, then fast again. And the other issue is the fact that some characters get left behind after a major thing happened. Like the elf girl, after they beat the giant squid, she's nowhere to be seen, and the princess is only there for four of the fucking 12 episodes that are in the first season. So that baffles the fuck out of me. I think the only character that actually matters besides the two main character is the third hero, but he's sporadic all over the place because even though he's there in the beginning and then in the end, he's not there when they're fighting the fucking giant squid. They have a different character, which he's also for the castle. So yeah, but I'm giving this anime a 7 out of 10. I enjoyed every minute of it. I thought it was really interesting. The only that's the only problem I have with it. But if you guys have any thoughts on it, go ahead, be my guest. I would love to get your guys' thoughts on it. Would you like to have a second season? If they have a second season, I'll make. And if it's better than the first season, I might get an 8 or 9. But for now, it gets a 7 out of 10 for me because I've watched better animes that have done it better. So that's the main thing about that. Although I think like a couple anime reviews ago, I've had a guy turn into a girl before. So it's not like it's the first anime that I've seen this happen before. So I'm kind of getting used to it. But I hope you guys have a nice positive day. Always stay positive. And what's the next? I'll make a poll. Well, pretty much. I'm not gonna make a poll because anime review is gonna be uploaded pretty late. But I hope you guys have a nice positive day and always stay positive.